Stealth games are known for methodical playstyles, sneak attacks and being undetected during your playthroughs. Today we're going to look at one of these types of games and see if it still lives up to modern gaming. This is Largo Winch Commando Sar. It's a third-person stealth-based game for the PlayStation 1, released in 2002 in both Europe and North America, developed by Rebellion Developments and published by Ubisoft. First thing to note about it, it's got two different covers based on the region you're playing in. The actual layout of the cover is exactly the same, it's just a colour difference. North America got a red cover, Europe got a blue one. Throughout the story, you'll be infiltrating offices, fortresses and oil rigs. You'll also be using a combination of stealth and hand-to-hand combat, which, to be honest, the combat isn't that great. It's a little bit button mashy in places, but if you do hit a combination quick enough, you'll get a 3-hit combo on your opponent. You can also block as well, and enemies can be relentless when it comes to hand-to-hand combat. You do sometimes get a very small window in which you can attack them. There will be times where you'll be using some weapons, but what you can't do is use these with the brainwave scanner equipped. This brainwave scanner is effectively like a radar showing you the enemies across the level. You have to put the scanner away to be able to use weapons or go into any form of combat stance. When you're doing that, you might get spotted and attacked yourself, leaving you vulnerable. The game seems very simplistic, but it's its coding that lets it down. There's numerous times in the game where there's an on-screen timer, and this won't reset if you respawn, meaning eventually you can't complete the task in the time limit and it will put you in an infinite respawn loop. You can also get stuck behind doors and at times be unable to make progress because certain events don't even trigger. Largo Winch Commando Sar is quite a short game. It's only 7 stages, with the first one being a tutorial stage that doesn't really tell you much about what you need to do. But you'll soon realise to get through it you won't have weapons and you'll just need to use your bare hands to fight your way through. If you know what you're doing and where you're going, you can complete the game in under an hour. Controls wise, the only button combinations of multiple presses that you're going to need are in combat. As you progress through the game, you'll have to search for certain objects to unlock doors and other areas, as you'd expect from a stealth game. When looking in toolboxes, filing cabinets or even on the computers, you'll need to keep a button held down so the progress bar moves across the screen. If you get attacked at any point, this bar will reset and you'll have to start the search again. This action button to search for objects is also the same button you use to punch enemies. Sometimes you might release it ever so slightly earlier thinking the bar is complete, when it actually isn't. Or you try to defend yourself if you're being attacked. If you decide to stay in the search, you're effectively a sitting duck. Overall, in terms of reviews, Largo Winch Commando Sar doesn't really have a lot going for it. It was quite poorly received in a lot of places. Metacritic doesn't even have a score for it. The only review score that I can see is on Moby Games, which gives it an average score of 22%, but that is based on 2 ratings. Here's what I think. The game is very poor. The story lacks a bit of depth, voiceover for characters aren't in sync, and cutscenes also stutter. You just generally expect a better standard even for a PlayStation 1 title. If you're new to stealth games, would I say that this is a good introduction? Not necessarily. There's plenty of other games within the stealth genre on the PlayStation 1 that are an overall better, put together experience. So that was a brief look at Largo Winch Commando Sar. Was this a game that you ever played? If you did, I'd love to hear your thoughts, whether you agree with my opinions of it or you don't. And if you do like looking back at some older, sometimes memorable, sometimes not so memorable games from the past, there'll be one dropping each week on this channel, so make sure you subscribe for more.